So my wife and I saw Late Night with the Devil the other night, and we've been pretty excited about that movie ever since we saw the trailer. Sadly, our expectations got soured a little bit because the week of release there was the whole AI art debacle, so that wasn't fun. But we were still really excited because, there's this whole nostalgic 70s aesthetic that the movie seemed to nail, and we were really excited about that. And as a guy who's a sucker for like a really cool concept in a movie, demonic possession during a late night talk show, that sold me. And this movie sort of gave me vibes that are very similar to movies like Without Warning and Ghostwatch, which are two of my favorite movies of all time, unironically. So that got me really excited to see it too. So here we are. And I'm so torn. For starters, it's just not really what it sells itself as, or at least it's not what I thought it was going to be. It's a little wackier than it is full-on scares, but once I realized what the tone was going to be, I kind of adjusted to it pretty quickly. And from the onset, it starts to show that it's not quite as accurate to the setting and the aesthetic as I'd have liked it to be, but when it started to drift a little into parody/loving homage, I got a little more forgiving. And it's not like I didn't have any fun, I did. But the entire time stuff was sort of rubbing me the wrong way. You can't really tell during the movie if it's an indie feature that's making sacrifices and hard choices with its budget, or if it's just kind of being lazy and cutting corners. Like I said, it kind of feels at times like it's struggling to do justice to its own conceit, which I'm sure is hard on any budget. But then there were a couple of things in the movie that happened that are just a little commercial, I guess, and maybe a little too slick for a low-budget film. Just kind of felt disingenuous. And then sometimes stuff would just bring you right out of the movie because it looked fake, and maybe they just kind of hoped you wouldn't notice. And some stuff just kind of really stretches your suspension of disbelief a little bit, to the point of it nearly breaking. Some strange story and filming editing choices. Most of the time I can overlook stuff like that. It doesn't bother me, it doesn't bring me out of the movie, but for some reason it just kind of kept distracting me. It's hard to say, but the whole AI art thing might have affected my judgment on all of this a little bit, probably rightfully so. The acting, too. It wasn't bad, I think everybody does a good job, but something felt off. The best way I can put it is that sometimes I didn't feel like I was watching a movie. Sometimes I felt like I was watching a stage production being filmed. Which is not bad, just kind of weird. There was a level of overperformance and flamboyance that I couldn't quite understand, and that might be on me. I don't know. Sometimes stuff just felt a tiny bit vaudevillian. I was fully prepared to, rule this as a mid or kind of below average movie, right up until the last 30 or so minutes. And then it earns a lot of my respect back. Very cool subversion of expectations. Just a very nice surprise. But is it enough? I really don't know. Bottom line, it wasn't as scary as I wanted it to be. And aside from a few things detracting points, I still did manage to have fun with it. Your mileage may vary, but it may not even matter. It did very well during the weekend at the box office, so I honestly wish everyone in the production well. I would like to see more stuff from them. Just, in the future, work some artists into your budget, like actual artists, please. I'll be the first to tell you, AI art is cool on a technical level, not an ethical one. So let's do better in the future, please.